guys, Zoolord here, back in with another review, and today we're taking a look at the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Merciless Wave, the Batman Who Laughs Sky Tyrant. So without further ado, let's get into it, kicking things off with the accessories. Kicking things off with accessories, Sky Tyrant comes with, of course, the wings, a display stand, as well as a collectible trading card, which, unlike the last DC review, you could pause and read the back of at your own leisure, although I believe it may be the same read-up as the first Batman Who Laughs. But as for the wings, you can attach them to the back, and the wingspan is pretty big. So as you can see, I can barely fit it on screen here. So with that being said, let's move on to Articulation. Moving on to the Articulation, if you guys are at all familiar with the Batman Who Laughs that came out earlier this year, you're going to feel right at home here. This guy reuses a lot of those same parts while having some new ones that do both hinder and free up some of the articulation. So with that being said, let's get into it, shall we? Let's! Of course, the head is a little bit different. He's got this insane expression on his face. I mean, look at that. I haven't seen anyone put this on the old Batman Who Laughs, but I assume you could if you wanted to. Probably apply a little bit of heat to that. I can English, I swear. But I was able to pop the old one's head off, but I took the ball peg, the double ball peg, out with it. So be careful with that. But you can get all kinds of movement out of this. I think it's a little bit less hindered than the original or the first release. I mean, you can get him doing that, which is pretty natural. I mean, I feel like I've seen that pose specifically in a comic panel before. But you can look up. You can look down. You can look down a little bit. You can tilt. Can't snap his neck and kill him, but do you really want to? He looks a little too awesome for that. Shoulders, he's got the standard kind of butterfly shoulders that McFarlane Toys has been using for a hot minute now. So that's pretty much the same. I will say the hinge out is a little bit tighter than the first Batman Who Laughs, mostly because that figure's old as shit now. At least it seems like it, because, 2020. But it does have the ratchet out, and then it does rotate as well. So you got plenty of range there. He's got a bicep swivel, he's got a double jointed elbow, and he can almost punch himself in the face. There you go. I got him to touch, it counts. But you do get a lot of range out of that elbow. I mean, look at that. That's ridiculous. Bicep swivel, if I didn't mention it already. His wrists have the ball hinge, which again is a little tighter on this guy. Probably because, again, he is newer. But you can rotate the hand at the bottom and the top of the joint. So you can give it whatever pose you want. He's got a trigger finger on this side. He's got this weird open hand on this side, which makes sense halfway through it. But then the other fingers are kind of weird. I thought it was warped or something, but no, it's supposed to be like that. So yeah, kind of weird. Kind of looks like he's got arthritis, but what are you gonna do? Legs are the same as the other Batman Who Laughs, but the torso, he's got that Hawkman armor. No Hawkman logo in the red dot there, which I'm used to seeing. But I originally thought he had Hawkman shoulder armor too, but he does not. He just has his own kind of crazy trench coat shoulder pads from the 1980s or whatever going on. I will say it is a little tricky to get to this waist swivel, but you can rotate his waist, and it does click. And he does crunch forward a little bit. You're not going to get a ton of crunch out of this guy, unfortunately. The rubber overlay is too big. So you could pretty much straighten it out or crunch him forward one click. So that kind of sucks, but what are you going to do? I will say I do prefer the trench coat on this, though. I like how it just hangs down. It is soft, so it will get out the way to an extent. but it does get a little thicker towards his waist, so you're not going to be able to do full-on splitsies with the hips, but you can get them out pretty far. And again, the hip joints are a little tighter on this guy. You can move him forward and back as well. It's got a thigh cut a little bit. Can he kick his own? Batowski. Oh, snap. Almost. He just misses it by like a millimeter. That's hilarious. You can essentially kick his own Sky Tyrant ass. And then he's got the ball hinge at the ankles. So you can move him around, do this and that. And he's got a toe joint. But let's talk about something a little different. I kind of glossed over these in the accessories because I wanted to talk about them a little bit more here because they do feature quite a bit of posability. There we go. And they specifically have something to do with the two big honking peg holes on his back. So, setting him there. Ah! Stand up, boy! There we go. Let's talk about the wings. Yes, Sky Tyrant. He should have something to fly, although I don't think he ever took flight. I think it's just a variant comic book cover, if I'm not mistaken. But needless to say, he kicks the shit out of Hawkman. The wings do spread out pretty far. That's as far as you can go without making them look like, well, ass. So there you go. Very nice paint and sculpt on these, too. Really, really nice. Look a lot like Mythic Legion's wings. They will not fit on a Mythic Legion's figure. I tried. The pegs are a little bit too big. Speaking of which, those are on the same kind of ball hinge joints that the hands and feet are on. So you can hinge them in and out. You can rotate them up and down and whatnot. But as far as attaching them to the figure, it is pretty easy. You just go like this. Till it pops right in. He's a little back heavy with these, but you can get him to stand. There's one. And here's the other one. If I can line it up with the hole, now I look like a total doofus. This one's a little bit tighter than the other side, so bear with me here. Golly gee whiz, Batman, what the hell? There we go. It didn't snap or pop, but it is definitely in there. So there you go. There is your Sky Tyrant decked out with his wings, which can be used to hold him up, by the way. If you pose him right, you can get him to hold him up. Hinge him down all the way. Like so. And at least one will touch the ground. So yeah, I think that makes the figure right there. I think that's a cool aesthetic and or silhouette he's going to cast on the shelf. So with that being said, let's take a look at some size comparisons. Taking a look at some size comparisons, here's Sky Tyrant next to the first Batman Who Laughs, which I think he got the throne, guys, as well as the Hellbat. Next up, we got the White Knight Ezreals, for obvious reasons at this point. I mean, do I really need to say it? And last but certainly not least, we got our two regulars. We got the Mythic Legion's Brother Mandibulus and the Mortal Kombat 11 Spawn. So with that being said, let's wrap things up with some final thoughts. Overall, and is it any surprise to you guys at this point, this is an awesome figure. I don't know what else to say. This is, I think, even better than the other Batman Who Laughs that McFarlane Toys did earlier this year. I mean, he's got the Hawkman wings. He's got a crazy looking head sculpt. He's got new hands. He's got a new trench coat that allows for a little bit more movement in the legs, albeit with a bit of a catch because he is a bit top heavy. And he doesn't come with any real accessories. It would have been nice to get the cane with the bat skull on it, but or skull with a Batman cowl, whatever. I still think this is top 5 DC Multiverse figures of 2020, which again, I talked about this in the Devastator review, a list I'm kind of surprised I am making. So, with that being said, of course, I'm going to recommend you pick this guy up. These are a little bit more expensive, though. These are about $25 a piece, or if you get them at GameStop, they are $30, which is weird because the first Batman Who Laughs was only $25, $26 when it came out. But that was way back in February, before things went to shit. So, yeah, I would say pick this one up, though. This is a really awesome figure. Looks awesome on the shelf. Or, if you keep things mint in box. And to each their own, I suppose. But with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed this review. Don't forget to like this video. Hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you know whenever I upload more reviews like this one. And don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section below. Let me know what you think of this figure. And remember, keep the comments civil, because the world sucks enough as it is. And I'd like to apologize. I wanted to have a video up for Sunday, but my stupid iPad was being a punk-ass bitch and would not save the video. So, sue me. It was just a bunch of stuff I didn't get around to reviewing, but wanted to put my 2 cents on. Needless to say, some Build-A-Figures, some Multiverse, actually, and some Marvel Legends that just were not worth the blood, sweat, and tears it takes to make reviews like this one. Say 3 to 4 hours worth. So with that being said, until next time, I'll catch you guys later.